and welcome back to City Focus. Here I have with me Deputy Chief Marcus Haynes, which he newly Deputy Chief. First of all, we want to congratulate you on the promotion.
Thank you, sir.
And how does it feel to be named the Deputy Fire Chief?
Well, I'm definitely honored, and morally, should I say, I'm humbled at the opportunity to be named Deputy Chief for the City of Valdosta Fire Department. I just want to be able to serve. We truly have a great organization, great men and women that has not just started right here for the City of Valdosta, but it has started before I became a member here and even before I was born. So the legacy has been passed down to what makes what we have right now a great organization, and I've counted it to be a blessing and an honor to be able to be a part of leadership for the City of Valdosta Fire Department.
Now, how long have you been with VFD?
I have been employed for the City of Valdosta Fire Department for a little over 15 years now. Mm-hmm. I've had the opportunity to work around some outstanding individuals. Whenever we see fire service men and women out and about, we normally just see firefighters, but you will be absolutely amazed at the skill sets that they have. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely been good. It seems, I would oftentimes when I first was employed for the City of Valdosta Fire Department, I would talk to the older guys and I would ask them, how many years do you have in, mm-hmm. and how do you feel? Because I wondered, about that and the duration of the physical body, and they would tell me 10 and 15 years and 20 years in. And they'll look at me funny because I will look at them like they're old. Yeah. And they will tell me, in essence, it doesn't take long. Yeah. And through my 15 plus years of being here, I'm starting to see that it doesn't take long, but it has definitely by far been an absolute good ride.
So those 15 years have flown by for you.
They have flown by, and I guess it's when you're having fun, things will go by in a hurry. But gotcha. It's been really good.
And I guess what initially brought you to the fire department, made you want to join the fire service?
So with me, I've always had the heart to serve. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to be able to serve, to be able to give back to my community. I can recall years ago, in my early 20s, I wanted to be able to be a part of the City of Valdosta Fire Department, but I was young, and mm-hmm. and be honest with you, my mind wasn't there. I was doing what young people do. Yeah. And so another gentleman by the name of Mr. Anthony Williams, him and I, we hosted a Easter egg hunt here in the City of Valdosta for 7 years. Gotcha. And it was at Taylor Car Park, right there off of Bemis Road. Mm-hmm. And we've had hundreds of people coming out, to be able to be a part and just being able to serve and be able to give back to me. It really spoke volume, and I wanted to do more. Mm-hmm. I saw my father pastor one church for 40 years and pastor period for over 60 years before he passed away. So it has always been in me to want to serve, and I was fortunate. I remember just like it was yesterday. Whenever I was trying to get on with the City of Valdosta Fire Department, I went through Wiregrass College and graduated the Firefighter 1 program, mm-hmm. And I would go and I introduced myself to Chief J.D. Rice at the time twice. Mm-hmm. And the second time I introduced myself to him, and he was like, "Son, how many times you gonna come here?" and I wanted to say, "Well, sir, with all due respect, yeah, as long as I need to." But so I didn't say any of those things. But eventually I had my interview. I remember just like it was yesterday. He sat there in his desk, Captain Gallagher, which is now Deputy Chief Gallagher with Tiff County Fire Rescue. Mm-hmm. They was in the office with me. And he looked through my my resume as well as my cover letter, and he said, "Son, everything looks real good." He said, "The only problem that I have," I didn't know he was baiting me up. Let me start off by saying that. He said, "You played sports?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Did you play football?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Your name sounds familiar." And he said, "The only problem that I have, I think we want to hire you, is that you have an outside diploma." So I said, "Well, sir, you can throw away that diploma. We can move on with this process." But it's been a good ride. But why I wanted to be able to be a part of City of Valdosta Fire Department is simply just to be able to serve and give back to a community that has given so much to me.
Gotcha. Understand. And you hear that answer so much from not only you and guys from their department, but also the police department and all over the city. To be honest with you,
That's right.
you hear it from all of our employees that really enjoy what they do.
That's right.
I guess, can you talk about some of the skills you've learned, credentials you've earned that have led you to be the deputy fire chief?
So when we think about the skill set and the credentials that one would have to need for the deputy fire chief position, every position within the city of Valdosta has what we call minimum requirements, or either, if school terms, prerequisites, in which you have to meet. And for the deputy fire chief position, they are you have to be NPQ certified in Instructor 1, Instructor 2, NPQ certified in the Fire Officer 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have to have our Incident Safety Officer, our NIMS 1, 200, 300, 400, 700, and 800. Incident Safety Officer, health and safety, and as well as a preferred qualification is the actual fire officer designation. And I was able to attain all of those prerequisites or minimum requirements, if I may say, and was able to be successful at each. And I always wanted to put myself in position, and that if anything ever came available, not only would I have those minimum requirements, but I even have more. So I didn't stop right there. I went a little further. And I said, if I'm ever in any type of position and I want to know how administration talks, I want to know how operations talks, and I want to know how prevention talks. So on the prevention aspect, I became NPQ certified in investigations, as well as in inspections. And that way, that broadens, my horizon, lets me know the things that they're saying, and I'll be able to understand, and we'll be able to push forward. Another thing that kind of aided in that is I didn't want to stop there. I also am a member of the IFE, Institution of Fire Engineers, on the educational committee. So just always trying to improve, living along the lines of the accreditation motto, CPSC, about continuous improvement. And that's what the fire service does as a whole. And just trying to, continue to move forward. And not only just me moving forward, but anybody that I see that may want some assistance, and even I'm gonna put it out there, even if they don't, to try to help them move forward with me, because that's what it's truly about. That's the bigger picture. And
by helping those other people within the department, you're helping the entire organization.
That is correct. By helping one, you're helping the entire organization. It's infectious, and it spreads abroad, and that's why it's also imperative that from a leadership standpoint, that we show that unified front, and that way it trickles down throughout the organization.
Gotcha, understand. And I guess, is there what are your goals now that you've been named the deputy fire chief? What you've got all these credentials, you got all these skill sets, about all the different parts of the department. What's next? What are your goals?
Well, so my goals is as an individual, my goals is to be an effective leader. I want to eventually go to grad school, finish my graduate degree, be an effective leader, and be able to help somebody else to where I'm at. To continue the mentorship. That's one of the things that our fire chief, Chief Brian Botwell, does. He teaches mentorship as well as servant leadership, and he puts it out. And those are some of the things that I kind of want to continue. Another goal is to continue to help hold up the mission and the vision of the organization. And I feel that's an imperative. I heard an analogy a while back, and it always resonated within my mind. But the analogy was, it talked about a puzzle. And the puzzle, as you go to the dollar store, and I mentioned dollar store because I love dollar stores, but it talks about buying a puzzle from the dollar store, the analogy, and you pour all your puzzle pieces on the table. And some may land in different places, upside down, some may be able to fall, and but you always have that picture on the box. And it's up to the CEO, the chief executive officer, to hold up that box at all times so we can see the vision. And that way we know how to put the pieces together. And my job as the deputy fire chief is to stand on the other side of the box and help him hold up that vision. You know, in the good times when things may not be going so good, you know, it's up to me to continue to do that. So if there were goals, it would have to be leadership, finish my professional development, help somebody along the way, as well as continue to hold up the mission and vision of this organization.
And to go back to that mentorship stuff, the department, and I know the dynamics of the department, I guess, better than some folks because I deal so much with you guys.
That's right.
But you guys have a lot of guys who are older.
Yes.
You have a lot of guys that are younger.
Yes.
And not very many of those guys in the middle.
Right.
So that mentorship is an important part of keeping that engine running of one of the best fire departments in the state of Georgia.
It is definitely, it's imperative, you know, that mentorship as well as, you know, for those that are in the chief officer roles to further their education, to know what we mentioned earlier in the Fire Officer 1, 2, 3, and 4. It talks about different leadership styles. Mm-hmm. It talks about your autocratic leadership styles, your democratic leadership styles, your laissez-faire, and then there's some more that we should just know. Mm-hmm. Our situational leadership styles, transactional, transformational, and we need to know how to adapt to those different age groups.
Yeah.
Because you may have an age group where you say, for instance, somebody's 10 years in, mm-hmm. and you're now over somebody that has 20 years experience.
Yeah.
So you may want to take a laissez-faire type of leadership style to be able to lead from a distance, to let them go and they know what they're doing, let them do their job, mm-hmm. and you lead with your hands on them. Or either you may be in a place where a division where you put over a group of people that you may not know. So you may want to take a democratic leadership style and get to know them, mm-hmm. and find out what makes them click, you know. So it's imperative that we use those different leadership styles to continue to lead. There's no one blanket leadership style to help with the mentorship and the coaching as we continue to go on. And
I think one thing that as an employee with the city that I enjoy seeing with your promotion is somebody who has worked their ranks up through the organization.
Yes, sir.
So that gives those younger guys an opportunity to say, oh, I can be that one day.
That's
then
right.
Then I'm not going to stay at this position.
That's right.
For all my entire career.
Right. I think that's imperative. You know, we have to be able, there again, that's the vision. You know, we have to be able to see things, you know, and it's about continuous improvement. So when others see things, you know, we can hear it all the time, but seeing, you know, we live in the seeing generation. You know, if they can see it and then it sticks a little bit more, they can believe it just a little bit better.
Gotcha. Well, I just want to say once again, congratulations on the promotion. I feel like we got the right person here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I see nothing but great things in your future with the Valdosta Fire Department and City of Valdosta.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
All right.
And we'll be back here on City Focus.